Today, I'm making my absolute favorite breakfast item that I've been making for over 15 years. It is high in protein, so nutritious, so easy to make. We make it when we have friends over. I bring these ingredients with me when I go on vacation. It is so easy. And they're known as what I call epic German pancakes. Some people call them Dutch babies, and I'm going to show you how to make them today. Fun fact, German pancakes aren't actually from Germany. They were popularized by a little cafe in Seattle in the early 1900s, Cafe Manka. And according to a blogger in the Netherlands, she said these American German pancakes aren't anything like they make over there. What is popular in Germany is actually making them savory because Americans tend to like everything sweet. We make them sweeter. I'm going to show you how we like it here. This recipe is kind of a cross between pancakes and a thick custardy dessert. It is really super scrumptious. My favorite part is I don't have to stand on the griddle and flip pancakes as everyone else is sitting and enjoying their breakfast. We can all sit down together. And this one pan that I'm making today is enough to feed my family of 4, and I have 2 adult boys. It is really the most economical breakfast around. There are just a few ingredients in these German pancakes. And today I am using fresh milled flour. However, if you do not have a mill your own flour, you can absolutely have something that is already pre-milled. And I love Sunrise Flour Mill. I've been buying their flour, either their wheat berries or the pre-milled flour for probably 4 years now. I love that they're non-GMO, they're organic, made right here in Minnesota, and I have a 20% off coupon code in the description box below. So feel free to give them a try. We really love them. It is super gut friendly. So many of my friends have been buying this flour and have noticed that their gut digestion is a whole lot better once they switch to this versus the all-purpose flour that they were using before. So give it a try. But if you are already like me and have a mill, they do have wonderful wheat berries that I'm using today. I am using soft white wheat, which I highly recommend. I have used the hard white wheat. Or you can use a blend of the two, but I stay with the soft white. I have found that they are a whole lot more fluffy and delicious using the soft white. Okay, so we're using the flour. We're going to be using 6 eggs. We have salt and some milk, a little bit of vanilla, and butter. That's it. Super easy. Again, I usually have all these ingredients on hand so I can whip up a batch in the morning. Nutritionally speaking, I traditionally do not make my German pancakes with any sugar. My husband, however, when he makes these Dutch babies, he likes to sprinkle a little bit of maple sugar on top. He has it close at hand. Do whatever you like. I just usually don't put it on and use the maple syrup when we get to the table. The first thing that you're going to want to do is turn your oven on to 400 to get it preheated. Of all the years that I've been making this recipe, I actually have my oven set at 375. And once I bumped it up to 400, I noticed that I had consistent results every single time. It got so much puffier, faster. So I highly recommend increasing your oven temperature to 400. One really important step is to make sure that you put a tablespoon of butter into your pan so that your German pancake doesn't stick to the bottom. I use a number of different pans throughout the years. My go-to is a 9x13. It's really common in most kitchens. Sometimes I've used a large cast iron skillet, and that works great. But this size works so much easier for the portion sizes. I usually cut it into 6 pieces. So I'm just going to get approximately a tablespoon. Put it in here. I will be putting this in the oven and melting this shortly. All right, next up is you want to make sure you crack 6 eggs. So I love to use the Danish dough whisk. Have you seen my episode on my favorite tools? This is one of my top favorite kitchen tools. It is so easy to clean, really quite amazing. Sunrise Flour Mill actually does carry this. You can get it on Amazon as well. Just get these eggs a little bit beaten up. I will do a better job when it is added to all of the other ingredients. The next thing you do is you're going to add a teaspoon of salt. And then you're going to add 1.25 cups of whole milk, 1 to 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Oops, I usually don't measure. I will today. I love vanilla extract. It was not a part of the original recipe, but I think it just adds such a nice little flavor to it. And then I'm going to go ahead, add my eggs in here, and then whisk. Make sure it is all incorporated. For those using fresh milled flour, it is really important to have all of the ingredients combined together and let it sit for 15 minutes before it goes in the oven so that the flour can soften. Okay, I'm okay with a little bit of lumps in here because I'm going to whisk it one more time before I put it into the pan. You can see that the butter is all melted, hot and ready for me to put the batter in. So I'm going to whisk it up. It's really important to get a good whisk going so that you can get some air incorporated into the batter, and that will help it as it's cooking so that you'll get a nice puffy rise to your German pancake. All right, now I'm going to put it in the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes. It's a pro tip. What I love to do is tell my family when the German pancakes are going to come out of the oven because I want them to ooh and ah over how fun and puffy and beautiful it is when it comes out of the oven. Because after about 30 seconds after pulling it out of the oven, that Dutch pancake is going to fall. If you're like from Minnesota or the Midwest, there's a restaurant called Pannekuchenhuis, and they would have waitresses that would run from the kitchen with that hot, puffy pannekuchen so it could get to you while it was still puffy. So it's kind of a big deal. A couple of weeks ago, I had a culinary women's retreat, and I served these German pancakes for breakfast. They were ooey and eye and couldn't wait to make it for their families. They were like, wow, this is so easy. It's so filling. They did not believe me that one serving was going to keep them full until lunch. Okay, we're at the 20-minute mark and they are ready. So one moment, I'm going to pull it from the oven. Look at this. Ooh, oh, it is so puffy. It is delicious. I'm about 30 seconds out from pulling this out of the oven, and I'm just going to show you. See, you can see it's already starting to fall. It's a little puffy still over here. This is just so good. You can see it's like custardy. It's super yummy. And really hot. You don't usually serve it this soon after coming out of the oven, but it just smells delicious in here. Something that I like to do to add a little pop of flavor is put a little squirt of lemon juice on top. That just brings out so much of the yummy sweetness from the pancakes. And then I love to add maple syrup. Here in Minnesota, we have a lot of maple syrup. And yes, it's so much cheaper if you buy a big jug because we go through it quite a bit. Put some of this on top and you are ready for breakfast. Okay, I have to take a bite and see how yummy it is. Super hot. This is amazing. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this recipe. And if you'd like to do any other fun variations that you add at home to your German pancakes. Until next time, God bless.